Hi and welcome. I'm Jenny and this is True Crime Stories and More, a place where we will explore unusual disappearances, murders, unexplained deaths and other crimes, some solved, some unsolved. Join me as we delve into the strange, bizarre and at times downright horrific. This is the story of Elisa Lam and her unexplained death. She arrived in Los Angeles with a journal full of dreams and left behind a mystery no one can explain. Elisa Lam was 21, a student from Vancouver, Canada. She was bright, artistic, but introverted, struggling quietly with bipolar disorder and depression. In January 2013, she embarked on a solo journey down the California coast, San Diego, San Francisco, and finally, Los Angeles. She documented everything on Tumblr: vintage dresses, indie music, bookstore finds, and her inner storms. Her last stop, the Cecil Hotel, 640 South Main Street, downtown LA, a place with a reputation drenched in tragedy. Built in the 1920s as a luxury hotel, the Great Depression turned it into low-income housing. Over time, the Cecil earned a darker name, the Suicide Hotel. By the 1980s, it had become a refuge for the desperate, addicts, the mentally ill, transient souls, and worse. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, lived there in 1985. Reportedly tossing bloody clothes in the hotel dumpster. Jack Unterweger, another serial killer, stayed there in 1991 while murdering 3 women, strangled with their own bras. But Elisa didn't check into a murder hotel, she checked into an adventure. She paid for a shared room in a female-only dorm. But after just 2 nights, she was moved to a private room. Her roommates had complained about her strange behaviour. She'd leave notes, lock herself in the bathroom, claim someone was after her. On January 31st, she failed to check out. Her family panicked. They hadn't heard from her. She'd called them every day, but now, nothing. The LAPD searched the hotel with dogs, but there was no scent. They reviewed footage. No sign of her. Until they found it. A 2-minute video from the hotel's elevator, and the internet would never be the same. Eliza steps into the elevator. She presses multiple buttons, waits, but the doors stay open. She peeks out into the hallway, jumps back inside, hides in the corner, then steps out again. She moves her hands in an erratic, unnatural way, like she's speaking to someone who isn't there, or maybe isn't human, and then she disappears. The footage is released. It goes viral. Reddit explodes with theories. YouTube creators dissect every frame. Why didn't the elevator doors close? Was someone following her? Was she high? Possessed? Was she acting out a scene from a horror movie? Theories ranged from the plausible to the bizarre. Some said she was being stalked. Others said she was having a psychotic break, while others thought that she was being targeted by a hotel staff member, or reenacting a scene from a Korean horror film, Dark Water, where a girl dies in a water tank. Or some claim she was part of a government experiment. There had just been tuberculosis outbreak on LA's Skid Row. The test? It was called the Lam Elisa. Coincidence? The search went cold, until guests at the Cecil began complaining. Low water pressure, strange colour, a foul taste. On February 19, 2013, 19 days after she disappeared, a maintenance worker checked the rooftop water tanks. Inside one, floating face up, was Eliza. She was naked, her clothes at the bottom, But no signs of trauma or sexual assault, no alcohol or recreational drugs, just her prescription meds well below normal levels. The coroner ruled it an accidental drowning linked to her bipolar disorder. But the questions, they never stopped. How did she access the rooftop? The doors were locked, alarmed. Only staff had the code. Even the tanks were difficult to open, and she was found inside, closed in. Why no alarm? Why no witnesses? And why the elevator footage? Was it edited? Slowed down? Was there someone outside the frame? The hotel never answered clearly. Management deflected. The police were tight-lipped, and her family was devastated. Netflix later produced a documentary, and theories flew again. Paranormal, psychological, criminal, but in the end, the official story remained. A troubled girl, alone in a haunted building, lost in her own mind. Still, for many, that answer doesn't sit right. The case isn't just about what happened. It's about how little we really know. About the thin line between reality and paranoia, sanity and fear. About how some stories don't end. They echo, like a girl pressing every button in an elevator that won't close, searching for a way out while the world watches, helpless.